To discuss this, we're joined by Development Economist Gbolahan Olojede. Thank you so much, Mr. Olojede, for joining us on the news.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Now, the price of petrol is over 1,000 naira, but the petroleum minister, who is the president of the country, seems less bothered about the situation. Now, we understand that the sector is fully deregulated, but isn't there a way this price can be made affordable to the citizens?
Is it fully deregulated?
Well, that's what we know. That's what they said. That's what they said.
Yeah. So that is where it all starts from. The transparency of the pricing regime in itself. When you have a situation in which NNPC will say, oh, I got the product at so much from Dangote, and then Dangote will say, no, I sold it at a different price. When you have a situation in which someone says, oh, it's fully deregulated, but my landing cost is 1,200. However, I'm selling for 1,000 naira. Where is the full deregulation in that kind of a situation? So I think a deeper question to, or a deeper issue to demand, even by labor, is a bit more transparency even in the pricing regime. How much is this product? And what are the other components that goes into it to give us a final price? We don't know. That is the reality. You see, the line that labor is trying to pursue will not be a solution. Okay, it was 70 naira because, 70,000 naira, you want them to increase it. Okay, what if they increase it to 90 naira? And then the following month, the price of petrol moves again. So what do? We go back and ask them to change it to 100 naira. Is that going to work? Obviously, that is not a solution.
But even Dangote Group itself has also remained coy as regards the price. Why are they not coming out with the details that we can mine and have an understanding of what the price is and, of course, the issues around it?
Let labor take that upon itself to help Nigerians. The lack of transparency in that space is horrendous. And it is not a public thing. It's not private. This thing is public. So please make the information available. You can even, when you do that, you can even be able to solicit or elicit our support into whatever you seek to achieve. Is it deregulation? You can solicit our support. But when we don't even know, how do we support you? So the transparency is horrible. Let that be a core demand of NLC. We want to understand this pricing regime for PMS. Of course, why won't Dangote be coy? Dangote is a businessman. He needs to make money. So if your regulator, you can't afford to be antagonizing your regulator all the time. It will cause problem for you. So it is for Nigerians to demand transparency in the pricing regime of PMS in Nigeria. We don't know whether it has been deregulated. We don't for it.
Well, that's the information they shared with us. Of course, I'm saying that now it is fully deregulated. The Ipman can just go straight to Dangote and everyone can negotiate their price and get the fuel, whatever price at whatever cost they would, get it based on the terms of negotiation with the supplier. But then let's look at what can be done. Now, economists have come out to say that since fuel subsidy is gone, then the government should, in a way, subsidize the value chain, maybe to bring down the price. Do you think that is feasible?
Well, it is feasible, but what a potential problem is that our administration of subsidy in itself has not been transparent. So even when we take this subsidy and locate it somewhere else, we're still not sure whether it will be transparent or it will become an opportunity for some people to make money while the real beneficiaries only get trickles in benefit. I think we must pursue the alternative energy issue. You see, this CNG matter that is being put in the space, can we develop something more structured that can facilitate a proper rollout? See, I listened to a gentleman on the TV recently. He was talking about an event in Ado-Ekiti. And two of his friends, one came in a CNG car, the other came in a PMS Toyota Camry. The CNG guy, according to him, spent 9,000 naira on fuel. The other guy who came on the PMS vehicle spent 48,000 naira on fueling. There is something about that mathematics that we need to tap into.
Well, a fantastic narrative, I must say. But then some have also questioned the possibility of sustaining or escalating the use of CNG because, of course, we saw the price increase in pump like 3 times in about 2 months. And there's the speculation that by the time everyone embraces the CNG, the prices will begin to go up too. The ability to sustain that particular energy source is also a source of question. And the rollout, like you said, of the modalities to see that it cuts across the regions of the country is also another question. So is this something that we can actually rely on? Or maybe it's another flash in the pan?
If we're determined to do it, we can do it. I just don't want a situation in which we will do it narrowly, we'll approach it narrowly. We have to look at all the complexities. For example, we know that we have much more than enough gas. We're a gas nation, but those gas, they are under the soil somewhere. So are we going to be able to produce enough? If adoption revs up today, if more people start to adopt CNG, are we going to have enough gas to meet the demand? Because like you rightly observed, if we do not have enough gas to meet those demands, then prices will start to go up again. And we might be back at a similar situation to what we're running away from. Then the infrastructure is not yet there as it's supposed to be. Nigerians would love to be able to drive into the nearest CNG station and buy CNG. I don't think we have that right now. I don't even think that our capacity to convert is at a level that could hasten adoption at this time in question. But if we have decided that this is something that will help us in the medium term or in the medium to long term, can we put a structure around it and deploy it? There's nothing as good as being able to have an alternative. Rather than PMS, we have been used to PMS since the first car entered Nigeria. So asking somebody to jettison what he has been using for decades and adopt a new one, it's not going to be a walk in the park. But if this new one offers an alternative, I'm sure that in the medium term, it will be better for it. We will all be better for it.
Now, even the cost of conversion of, petrol-powered cars to CNG is said to be on the high side. A lot of people seem not to be able to afford that. But then is there possibility to actually, accelerate the process for the government to have a PPP, have the private sector come into it, invest in this, so that the embrace can be broad and the spillover can be rapid? I mean,
it can be done. It's a matter of putting financing in the place. Let's look at a situation. I was discussing with someone who had bought fuel into a Sienna. And the full tank of a Sienna, which is a 20-gallon vehicle, is about 80,000 naira. She said she uses 1 tank in a week. What that means is that within 3 months, she will have spent 1 million naira on fueling.
Wow.
In the alternative, if that vehicle was a CNG vehicle, maybe she would have spent 150,000 instead of 1 million naira on the same fueling. So the decision becomes easier when you look at the cost benefits that you will reap via a CNG engine as opposed to a PMS engine. But is that awareness even there? And then all those other things that make financing, like you said, somebody might be able to afford 1 million over 6 months, but you may not be able to cover 1 million at a time. So all you need is for somebody else to provide that 1 million to him today so he can do the conversion, and then he will pay that person over the next 6 months. It is possible. It is all part of the comprehensive approach to launching this as an alternative, if indeed we want to launch it as an alternative.
Okay, so finally, the NLC has come out to say that it is going to resist the price hike. And of course, you talked about an approach that could be meaningful in terms of, probing the process and having an understanding of what needs to be done. The highest they probably will do is probably call for a strike. But then if we're going to be critical around holding the government by the jugular, what do you think with the machination of the NLC we can do to ensure that we make the best of this and ensuring that whatever it is, Nigerians are able to affordably purchase this commodity?
I will urge NLC to focus more on demanding for transparency in that pricing regime. It is actually much more important than demanding for a price reversal or asking for a further increase in minimum wage. Those minimum wage and demanding that the price be taken down are not things that are sustainably pursuable. We cannot continue to chase that cycle over and over again. But if we understand the pricing regime, even when they are doing their negotiation, it makes it easier for them to negotiate because they themselves now understand how it works. You can probably even project what will be, when the price will change. They can project it by themselves because the variables that go into determining what should be that price is known, is public, is transparent. If it is, let's for example say exchange rate and the price of crude in the international market are two key variables that go into determining that price. So once those metrics are changing, we ourselves, we even know that very soon there might be a price change. And if it is the other way, if the price is going to fall, we will also know because we will know, oh, price of crude has come down in the international market, but we don't know the basis. They just throw numbers around for us.
All right, Gbolahan Olojede, thank you so much for this. A lot of Nigerians are hurt by this. We just hope something will be done soon in the best interest of the citizens. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, you're welcome.